paints Rick's deck. Paint, tape, and Tate paint can't cover the deck Rick wants Tate to paint. I can't, says Tate. I can't.
3 times fast!
Tate paints Rick's deck. Paint, tape, and Tate paint can't cover the deck Rick wants Tate to paint. I can't, says Tate. I can't.
1!
Tate paints Rick's deck. Paint, tape, and Tate paint can't cover the deck Rick wants Tate to paint. I can't, says Tate. I can't.
2!
Tate paints Rick's deck. Paint, tape, and Tate paint can't cover Rick's wants Tate to paint. I can't, says Tate. I can't.
Wow! Sorry, I got weird there.
It did get weird back there. Yeah.
You're gonna towel down a little bit there.
You nailed it, man.
Should sit. Where should the shark sit? The shark should sit in the sea.
And 3 times fast!
The shark should sit. Where should the shark sit? The shark should sit in the sea.
1!
The shark should sit. Where should the shark sit? The shark should sit in the sea.
2!
The shark should sit. Where should the shark sit? The shark should sit in the sea.
The Reverend Inflingo goes down.
Chucker and Fred Frickin' Chucker, Full Force Huckin' Frank and Freddie Flickin' Pucker, shift and sit shooting shots, but they can't cut the skunky blunt Kent cut shunts Vietnamese.
3 times fast!
For the Men's Room's 2000 show, Chuck Figpucker and Fred Frickin' Chucker, Full Force Huckin' Frank and Freddie Flickin' Pucker, shift and sit shooting shots, but they can't cut the skunky blunt Kent cut shunts Vietnamese.
1!
For the Men's Room 2000 show, Chuck Figpucker, Fred Frickin' Chucker, Full Force Huckin' Frank, Freddie Flickin' Pucker, shift and sit shooting shots, but they can't cut skunky blunt Kent cunt.
So close.
Yeah. The worst
God, so close. All right.
Guy about jumped out of my chair.
Yeah. Get it ready to go. It's a
Was big and thick. His deck was hard. The slits were slick. His thick deck had wood cut, shipped from a shed. Toppy's big, thick deck was adored by Ted.
3 times fast!
Toppy's deck was big and thick. His deck was hard. The slits were slick. His thick deck had wood cut, shipped from a shed. Toppy's big, thick deck was adored by Ted.
1!
Toppy's deck was big and thick. His deck was hard. The slits were slick. His thick deck had wood shipped from a shed. Toppy's big, thick deck was adored by Ted.
2!
Toppy's deck was big and thick. His deck was hard. The slits were slick. His thick deck had wood cut, shipped from a shed. Toppy's big, thick deck was adored by Ted.
That's right, we're gonna win last time we played.
Tatum paints his tan. His tan is painted with tanning paint. Channing licks his paint before he tans to be sure his paint is flavored tan.
3 times fast!
Channing Tatum paints his tan. His tan is painted with a tanning paint. Channing licks his paint before he tans to be sure his paint is flavored tan.
1!
Channing Tatum paints his taint.
That's such a fun word.
Yes, it is. Too bad we can't say that
He
word.
paints his what?
I don't know why it has to be. Why can't it be a friendly?
Ducked a flipping truck while holy ships sank off clean dock. Fat Flo begged the Vietnamese philanthropist fix that flip truck up.
3 times fast!
Fat Flo ducked a flipping truck while holy ships sunk off a clean dock. Fat Flo begged the Vietnamese philanthropist, fix that flip truck up.
One.
Fat Flo ducked a flipping truck while holy ships sunk off clean dock. Fat Flo begged the Vietnamese philanthropist, fix that flip truck up.
2.
Fat Flo ducked the flipping truck while holy ships sunk off the clean dock. Fat Flo begged the Vietnamese philanthropist, fix that flip truck up.
There you go.
We've had a few misses, though.
Yeah, Ted was 23 and 10, but Sarah, we don't need the 23. That's fine.
Hell is that?
23 and 10.
That's no fun for us. This is the 10 where he screwed up on.
Okay.
And normally when you listen live, you hear the dumped version, which kind of cuts out the whole audio. But luckily, I engineered a way to record the whole thing and throw a beep in there at the end, so you can kind of hear where he went wrong, and yeah, you can make up your own mind and sort of use your imagination on what word he actually went wrong on.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Here
we
is
go.
every miss from 2014, ladies and gentlemen, in Ted versus the FCC.
If Chuck can't cut the chunky cut and incontinent, Kent can't cut the chunky cut, who can cut a chunk from Chuck or Kent's cut? Oops, I crapped my pants.
3 times fast.
If Chuck can't cut the chunky cut and incontinent, Kent can't cut the chunky cut. Who can cut the chunk from Chuck or Kent's cut? Oops, I crapped my pants.
1.
If Chuck can't cut the chunky cut and incontinent, Kent can't cut the chunky cut. Who can cut the chunk from Chuck's or Kent's cut? Oops, I crapped my pants.
2.
If Chuck can't cut the chunky cut and incontinent, can't.
Ted,
I thought you had that one, Ted.
Shannon Sharp sits slyly, shooing sharks at sea while sitting on his city ship. On his ship sits Shelley, Sheila, and Shane. Shane shifts Shelley's sheet as Shannon's city ship sits on Sheila's sweaty city sheep.
1.
Shannon Sharp sits slyly shooing sharks at sea while sitting on his city ship. On his ship sits Shelley, Sheila, and Shane. Shane shifts in Shelley's sheet as Shannon's ship sits.
Ugly. Got a little brown.
Did it?
Yeah.
Jill's Jello drizzled begins to whiz as Jen jumped Jake's fizzy, dizzy, juggly jug of his grizzly gizmo, who sat shifting Jeff's fizz and shifted sitting adjacent to the happy, huggable Barry.
Is that okay?
A shy, chintzy chick should sit down with me for shots in the shiny Emerald City. She should sit and do sick shocker shots and city split shot, sip shots for sure, but she's sure shy from Shizo City, slit shots, cheese is the future.
1.
Hey Joe, a shy, chintzy chick should sit with me for shots in this shiny Emerald City. She should sit and do sick shocker shots and city split shot, sip shots for sure, but she should shy from Shizo City, slit shots, cheese is the future.
2.
Hey Joe, a shy, chintzy chick should sit with me for shots in this shiny Emerald
Wow. So close. So close.
Sitting on the shifty ship, Dick Rock soaks cork and Rick Doc sucks chalk. But sitting on the city ship, Dick Rock sucks Rick Doc's chalk and Rick Doc soaks Dick Rock's cork. They're cork soakers and chalk suckers.
1.
Sitting on the shifty ship, Dick Rock soaks cork and Rick Doc sucks chalk. But sitting on the city ship, Dick Rock sucks Rick's Doc chalk and Rick Doc soaks Dick Rock's cork. They're cork soakers and so close.
That was so hard.
I felt like you were getting there for a second.
Oh, man.
Cat cut cups and guzzles gum. Gum guzzling cat cut cups and can't keep cat's coffee confined. Cat's coffee creeps from cat's cut crack while cat guzzles I sail a ship to shoreline and surely shift as I sit and surely sit as I shift. That's where a dunce can't cut blunt cans I can't cut, dunce. Then I see Ryan Castle below me. I love to watch Ryan Castle below me. I sail a ship to shoreline and surely shift as I sit and surely sit as I shift. That's where a dunce can't cut blunt cans I can't cut, dunce. That's where I see Ryan Castle below me. I love to watch Ryan Castle below me. I sail a ship to shoreline and surely shift as I sit and surely sit as I shift. That's where a dunce can't cut blunt cans I can't dunce.
Wow. Didn't see that coming.
Just snuck in there.
So close.
For the Men's Room's 2000 show, Chuck Figpucker and Fred Frickin' Chucker, Full Force Huckin' Frank and Freddie Flickin' Pucker shift and sit shooting shots, but they can't cut the skunky blunt Kent cut shunts Vietnamese. For the Men's Room 2000 show, Chuck Figpucker, Fred Frickin' Chucker, Full Force Huckin' Frank, Freddie Flickin' Pucker shift and sit shooting shots, but they can't cut skunky blunt Kent.
So close.
The worst
God, so close. 3 times fast.
Channing Tatum paints his tan. His tan is painted with a tanning paint. Channing licks his paint before he tans to be sure his paint is flavored tan. Channing Tatum paints his The short, shy ship's cock swings, sits, slips, and sips Schlitz while he fucks his copper.
Whoa! Wow! I even pulled the trigger too early there. I thought you got through there on the last one. Apparently, that's not the case.
Burns so much.
Wait a second. although a very positive year.
Yeah.
Altogether, we have to look at it that way.
And out in a blaze of glory.
Yeah, or one.
No, that was not what I thought you said.
No.
Yeah, one more for next week.
It was a much better year this year for Ted versus the FCC, despite those 10 misses that you just heard here. Yeah, absolutely. Man.
I was worried 10 misses was going to be too short. That was fantastic.